Yeah. It's your boy, DJ Bless, aka Sutter Kain, back in the place to be. I'm here today to talk to y'all about the Empirical Labs collection. Now, let me tell you how I even started with Empirical Labs. I was in Africa, Uganda to be exact. I had no gear, I only had my mobile set up, and I happened to come across the plugins of the UAD Distressor, the Soft Tube Mike-E and Lil FrEQ, you feel what I'm saying, and the Empirical Labs Arouser. So I came across these and I was working on a mix. And when I used it on the mix, I was completely blown away. So me being a hardcore gear junkie, you know what came next. I had to get the whole collection ready to go. So I wound up picking up a Mike-E, two Distressors, two Lil FrEQs, and a FATSO and a UBK FATSO. So I went all out. I totally went all out, and it all started from me using the plugin. So now I come to y'all to tell y'all about my experiences with the Empirical Labs collection and how I'm using it on my latest production, mixing, and sometimes even mastering. Here we go. Now let's start off with the world famous Distressor. The Distressor is a compressor that we would call a Swiss Army knife. Distressors have literally replaced other gear that I had in my rack. I use it a lot on drums. I love it on drums. I love it on vocals. You feel what I'm saying? But more drums than anything. When I put that thing through drums, it's like a DBX 160 on steroids. It's like a, on vocals, it's like a LA2A on steroids. It's like 1176 on steroids. You have different modes to make what you want it to be. So you have two distortion modes, right? So distortion 2 is going to be a tube-like distortion. You feel what I'm saying? And then distortion 3 is going to be a tape-like distortion. On drums, I usually keep mine on distortion 3 or I don't use it at all because I love the low end weight. When you put it on tube, you're going to cut through the mix more. It's going to be more punchy, I've noticed. But for me, I love distortion 3. It gives a lot of weight, a lot of heft, and it has side chains, which I like. Now what a side chain does, it's like basically a, how can I explain it? It's like a inboard EQ almost that makes the compressor trigger a certain way. So you can have it to where you can set the side chain to not touch anything under 80 hertz. So this way, when your kick is going through, the compressor won't react. Or you can have it at 6K to where it only hits the middle. And to me, that's really good on snares and vocals and kicks. How I personally use the Distressor is I'd leave the side chain alone. I put it on distortion 3 depending on the mix, and that's how I use it for my kicks. For my snares, I go ahead and put it the side chain on the 6K one, which is the middle, and then I cut 80 hertz, and then I just rock it from there on distortion 3 as well. And it comes out punchy, very, very punchy. Now, what I combine that with is the Lil FrEQ. The Lil FrEQ is a graphic EQ that is beastly. It's basically two EQs in one. You have a colored side and then you have a clean side. The colored side has a Carnhill output transformer, and a lot of y'all know Carnhill's from Neve. It even has a Neve 1073 setting to where you can set the curves on there to mimic a Neve 1073. You feel what I'm saying? It can be used for both mixing and mastering and tracking. And that's where you have the track pack. The track pack is basically the Mike-E, which is the preamp, which I love a lot, which has replaced other preamps in my studio. The Mike-E, and then you take the Lil FrEQ and you combine them together, and that's the track pack. You feel what I'm saying? You see how we're all staying inside the Empirical Labs universe, I would say? See, I use the Distressor for drums and vocals. I use the Lil FrEQ for drums and vocals, and I use the Mike-E for track and vocals, which is their preamp. Now let's stick to the Lil FrEQ for a second. Now with the Lil FrEQ, I can carve a drum or vocal exactly how I want it to sound. And it has a beautiful de-esser and high frequency limiter on it. Now I use the high frequency limiter as almost a tape saturation thing to mimic tape. So what I usually do is I engage the de-esser, I engage the high frequency limiter, and then what happens is I set it to 6K. So anything that's coming past there is gonna shave it off. On a vocal, on a drum, I mean, it's beautiful. And if you want to use another de-esser after that, that's your choice. But it shaves it off, so this way when you are ready to mix, or if you are even mixing, it makes your job so much easier. You feel what I'm saying? It makes it so much easier. Now with the Mike-E channel, the Mike-E channel is Empirical Labs preamp compressor and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And it also has an output transformer. I got the mod one, which has the ginseng transformer. The ginseng transformer is amazing. It smooths it out and everything. But I also still have the option to go out without a transformer. Now, how I do that is this, and I'm gonna have all audio examples at the end. I'm just giving y'all a summary report. How I usually do the Mike-E is two ways. When I'm tracking vocals, I use the compressor and the preamp, which sounds beautiful and stuff. Or if I'm mixing, I put the compressor on 1-to-1, then I push it so this way it can have a nice saturation, because it has a thing called a comp sat. So what the comp sat does is compresses and it saturates. It's like a soft clipper. So what I usually do is I set the compressor 1-to-1 when I'm mixing, then I push into it so this way it smooths off those edges. What I want to basically show is that you see how it's sticking in one company for everything. When I want my mic pre, Empirical Labs Mike-E channel. I want a compressor, the Distressor. I want an EQ, the Lil FrEQ. And finally, the last of the last ones is the FATSO. The FATSO is basically a tape emulator. I love to use it on drums and mix bus the most. On drums, it does really good on kicks. It makes the kick more smooth and more, I want to use the word confined, but more tight. So what it does is when I put it in there, it shaves off all those little peak areas and smooths it out and makes it more tighter for me. So this way when I'm mixing, it just punches through the damn speakers, like it punches directly through, which I love a lot. But you see how we're using the Distressor for compression, then we go from there to the Lil FrEQ for EQing and carving, and then finally we go to the FATSO for smoothing out and for tape saturation style. You feel what I'm saying? 'Cause that's what the FATSO basically is. It mimics tape and stuff. So you have a transformer on there, you have a soft clipper, and you have a compressor on there. I personally don't use the compressor that much. I use it on a couple mixes, but I personally use it for the saturation as a saturation box. So I use it more for this tape emulation more than the compression, but the compression on it is really good. So even if you start off with that, you'll be happy. Now, when it comes to the UBK FATSO, I love to use that in the mix. Now I use that on samples. I love to run my samples through there. I run guitar samples, I run vinyl samples, I run all my samples through there to make the sample sound more big, more pronounced, more in your face. That's what I love about the UBK FATSO. But let's go back. We have the Distressor, which is a Swiss Army knife compressor, which is amazing. After that, we have the Lil FrEQ graphic EQ, which has a high shelf and a low shelf. It has a high frequency limiter and a de-esser on it. And I love to use that alongside the Distressor for my drums and for my vocals. And even right now, me recording these vocals is going through the Mike-E channel. And that's where the Mike-E channel comes in at. The Mike-E channel is a wonderful preamp that I can use for tracking vocals, mixing vocals, and if you have two of them, you can even use on mix bus. It has a blend knob, it has two different outputs, so you can either go with a ginseng or you can just go clean. I would go with the mod personally, that's what I did. And then after all that, to glue it all together, you have the FATSO. The FATSO is like a tape emulator. The FATSO glues it all together and makes it more one, which is perfect. So, and with the UBK FATSO, like I said, I love to use that in the mix for samples. You can use it for 808s. I mean, it's beautiful. But enough talking. Let's hear some audio examples, all right?
Look, yo, every time we get a bag, we just buying guns. I can always rob it as if I'm on funds. I'm going dumb for you smart Alex. They shot but they no static. They like, why do you rap? Cause I'm dope at it. As a youngin', my cousin was serving dope addicts. All I did was buy sneakers, broke habits. I don't act like nigga who live in lavish. I'm low-key but established. I really own all my masters. West Kenny made me, Deborah Ann raised me, Troy taught me the game, my wife definitely saved me. As a youngin', the nigga was going crazy. I was new to the Bucks in Florida like Tom Brady. Ignore the hype though, it's real bad, they ain't never had lipo. I just want my credit, I ain't talking about FICO. The weed bright green like that little gecko from Geico. I'm Norman